Thank you again for joining us for the Coffee Retail Summit. I'm Yannis Apostolopoulos, and I'm the CEO for the Specialty Coffee Association. I'm in Wisecup Roastery, and next to me is George Loukas. We're both fully vaccinated, so we're going to remove our masks, and it's actually great to be able to be with friends from the coffee industry again. The next talk is titled All Day Store, utilizing training and hospitality to create retail experiences. And it is a pleasure to have George to talk about how he balances commitment to hospitality and superbly trained staff, as well as a menu that proudly features coffee, wine, food, and bar, open for more than the usual 8 hours a day. George is an entrepreneur. Originally from Washington, D.C., he has been working in the coffee since he was 18. In 2014, he opened a warehouse in Athens, which has today expanded to three retail locations. In 2016, George started Wisecup Coffee Roasters, that is hosting this session here today. And just this year, in February, he opened What the Food, a takeaway store that features burger, pasta, pizza, and of course, coffee. George isn't joking when he says he's an entrepreneur. And I'm so glad he could join us today. So George, welcome.
Hello, Yannis, and welcome to Wisecup. I'm more than proud and I'm more honored to be here today. So, as a matter of fact, uh, we thank you all for this amazing opportunity. Hello to you all too. So, I was asked to have a small presentation of what warehouse is all about and how can food can be how can coffee team up with food and wine. So we own three distinctive stores called Warehouse, and as you can see, each one has a distinctive marking on the side of it. Each tree can follow the same architecture, but with significant changes in order to have a significant appearance in relation to what they serve. So in Warehouse specialty blends, we have a vast array of wines and a very intriguing menu, which we can call fusion Mediterranean, and of course, coffee. In the second one, we call it Warehouse CO2, which is our bubbly store. It's a store. It's a unique store that operates with champagne, operates with wines, and only cold dishes that can accompany the champagnes. Our third one, it's called Warehouse Edge. It's our, as I can say, the more restaurant of our stores, because the food menu there is much more relative to high-end food servings. We also serve cocktails and various spirits, and we also generate each year our own signature drink lists. As Yannis told, till 2016, we opened up Wisecup Coffee Roasters. It is our answer to what we consider as good coffee. We can have we can serve and we can provide every aspect of coffee to our customers and to our own stores. Our trainer and quality controller is a former world champion named Chris Loukas. Chris, coming in. See, it's here. That guy is here.
Hello, guys.
And we are very happy to have him here since September, isn't it?
Yep, That's right.
All right. So Chris takes care of our training and quality programs, and there are things yet to come. Thank you. We're taking places to coffee competitions, and we ran up third twice. Last one was on 2020 with Mr. George Agilakis. In coffee and good spirits. And our newest addition is What the Food, which is our handmade pizza, pasta, and burger. And it's gonna be our franchise and takeaway solution because the pandemic forced us to find some other solutions providing coffee and food. These are some of our menus. We also are the sole distributors for Greece and Cyprus when it comes to Loveramics. And one of our main main attributes is that we consulting other companies how to make their menus. We train them and of course provide them with all of our range of products. So Yanni's favorite is it's the numbers, as you know. So in total, in our total income, we have 50% revenue coming from wine and spirits, 30% from fruit, and 20% from coffee regarding warehouse stores. And the reason that we came up with all this thing and we managed to come across it is our team. We give a lot of care and love to our team, and we're more than a family than co-workers. Here you can see all 4 partners in warehouse. The gentleman in your far right is our chef. Next to one with a name Vasilis. Next one with a white shirt is Anastasis, which is the head of spirits. Right left from him is George, the financial guy, and the one that makes things running, and of course myself. So Yannis, where are you?
So thank you, George. So thank you for the presentation. Let's talk about the shops. Like, you have these shops for how many years now? And you have been trying to expand between coffee, food, wine, spirits like cocktails. And you practically operate from 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning until...
No, that's not. It's not that early. We open up our shops on daily basis on 8:30 in the morning. So we start serving our products around 9:10, and we go straight up, except the pandemic our conditions, to 2:30 to 3 o'clock after midnight.
Okay, so you're dealing with that on a daily basis.
Yep.
Now, how your turnover has helped you in expanding. So you went with an aggressive plan in expanding in retail stores and restaurants and opening up like warehouse CO2 with the sparkling wines and champagne bar. So how all this kind of offering is helping the expansion of the company? Like, what is the necessary, I would say, capital that you put to expand? Like, does it drain cash? Does it help with cash flow? Like, how does this work?
What really happened is that we enjoyed a big support from our customers throughout these years since our first store, Warehouse Specialty Blends, opened up on the 8th of January 2014. So we have 7 years of constant growth. So our client base gave us a big support and an ongoing support, even though in difficult times, because till 2015 we had a big financial crisis, as a lot of other European countries, and then we had the COVID last 2 years, 1.5 or 2. So we can say that we had a very, very big growth but we couldn't have done that unless it was for our supporters and our customers to come every day and trust us in what we serve them.
Okay. So let me rephrase a bit the question. So we're sitting today on the roster.
Yeah.
And coffee is where it all started from. Like it started from the idea of coffee, like getting a coffee shop and maybe some wine and just a bit of food. Because I've been on the first store that has a very small kitchen and you're trying to build that. So today you have like an extensive coffee menu. You have an extensive wine menu. You have an extensive cocktails and spirits menu. And you have also an extensive coffee menu. So does the other business, we have a question here, actually dilutes from the coffee experience your consumers?
Not exactly, because in our terms, in Greek mentality, all-day stores can serve different types of servings and different types of products through certain time periods within the day. So we can concentrate our efforts and our attention to this kind, just this specific kind, like coffee or food or wine, many times all together. And it's accustomed to our Greek mentality to have it all at once. So it's not dilute from the coffee or the food or the wine, because each product can be a supplemental to the next one. The initial idea came that we try to combine wine and coffee because it share how can I say, it share unique ideas like the terroir, like the altitude, like the procedures distinctively in each product. So we tend to consider that wine and coffee are like cousins.
Okay.
So
it's okay with the offering. How about staff? You're thinking about a team, about training, about offering hospitality, like the skills that you need to run a shop all day. It starts from kitchen, it starts from like bartenders, from baristas, like what is I would say, how difficult is it to actually recruit, train, and retain staff on an all-day shop? Like,
yeah. First of all, we give great attention when it comes to hospitality matters. I think that everything can be served, or even it's good or bad, but unless you have a very polite staff and the hospitality sense be that big, everything can be achieved by that. So it's our sole idea to have good service, hospital people, and polite, and then all the other things. On the other hand, we tend to, how can I say, we tend to generate our own stuff. We train them from zero basis, and we ask from them just to be very, very accepting, if I may use the term, to ideas like good energy and smile. So whenever take people that they do not have previous experience, may say, you give them the opportunity to grow within the terms of our stores and grasp on their mentality. So this, I think, is the big secret of Warehouse, that the people generate themselves through the shops.
and is it difficult to retain people that you train from scratch? Because usually when people get skills, they look like what I can do next. And so how difficult is, like, over the years that you have been operating to maintain a certain level of staff and keep the experience or retain staff, or how quick is your turnover on staff?
As always, HR issues tend to be a critical point of our everyday work. But we're very proud and very happy to have the core of our team are with us for about from 4 to 7 years. So we right now have about 48 employees. So let's say 65 to 70% of those are with us above 4 years. So that means that we create a group, we create a team that has the initiatives and the perspective to grow and to vast their knowledge, or even come with us in what we make on the future terms.
Okay, I get that. So it's all about hospitality. It's all about having fun, and that means it's all about an experience where people are coming to your stores, and it starts from the morning to coffees to food to wine. The question that I have for you is like, how do you make sure that for every new location that you're opening, which is not like a replica of the previous one, like we heard, one has coffee, wine, and food. You open the second one, which has sparkling wines and cold
Coffee.
plates and coffee, but it's different. Then we heard about the third one, which is like a new venture of yours, which is like just food and coffee, and it's just delivery. We heard about the roastery. So you are expanding, but you're not replicating the same model. So, but you're always trying to give the experience element. That's what I understood. How do you accomplish that? How do you get to a mode that everybody understands? Okay, it's all about the experience, and the feeling of the experience is the same, while the product is not the same.
The basic of the experience is to be hospital. As for the rest, we have a core unit, if I may use the terms. We have a core unit that hops over to different stores, and we're taking the new kids, our new employees, and we give them the general knowledge about wines, coffee, drinks, etc. And then we specialize them in each store separately. So all of our team has the knowledge of all stores and their attributes. Of course, each store has its own core, it has its own barista, so we can maintain to have a familiar face for its store base. And then what we do is to train separately people to separate aspects, like the CO2 warehouse, which is our champagne store. Their main employees are distinctly trained to champagnes, let's say.
So, okay, we got the understanding. Okay, it's hospitality, it's experience. The product can differentiate based on the needs. I want to ask you something else. Like, how do you pick locations? Like, you're expanding in different things, and I know, being from Greece, being from Athens, that you have locations by the sea. You have in the city center, in an area that it's not the most, I would say, iconic for food businesses. It's like kind of on the periphery. You have a roastery at the city center. You have like the sparkling wine, where the touristic area or the touristic heart of Athens beats. So how do you pick locations based on that mentality of hospitality?
I think that except from the roastery, all other locations came a little bit likely towards us. I mean, we opened up our first warehouse in a urban area called Exarchia, which at the time was in the middle of the turmoil, of the political turmoil and the financial crisis. But we never gave a thought that we are not following the location model. We give a big effort to build destinations, because we think that our recipe can give something different, and we're just trying to support it with value for money products, and above all, our mentality. The location by the sea that you mentioned just came to us straightly. It was an acquaintance of ours, gave us the hint, and we went there and opened it up. I mean, we just like the place. We just visualize it, and then we go and open it. We give very, very big perspective to our products.
So, if I may ask, like, I get it. What would be interesting, I guess, from our audience here is that you're describing a model which is kind of an unorthodox model to grow.
Of course.
What does it mean when it comes to investment, to capital? Like, how do you actually fund this? What has been the struggles? Like, you started from day zero with a SOC, and now unless you told me that I had like a big bank account and I personally financed it, like, which I know that you didn't. Like, what was the journey to get support, investors, to help you with that?
For starters, we need to understand that our first attempt happened when the financial crisis in Greece was in its highest peak. So we didn't have any, let's say, chance to evaluate all side information, like the location, like the customer's pool. So we found a place, we made it happen, and we started working on our own, endless hours for about 2.5 years. It was two guys in the service and us four behind every post. Me in coffee, George in the wine, Vasilis in the food, and Anastasis in the spirits sector. So and we done everything on our own capacity. I mean, let's say, George, my partner, must forgive me about me saying that. We never held money for ourselves, but we just reinvest our earnings to make a new one, because we want to maintain our creativity high, and the one led to another. So it's not an investing or loaning money, borrowing money. No, it was earnings to the next, to the next, to the next. That's it.
So you started from scratch, from just one
Yeah.
brand. You created multiple brands and orbit brands around that. And the question that I have is like, how does the customer follow you with a complicated brand identity? Like, does the customer follow the brand, or the customer follow you, the people? Like you, George, like Anastasis, like the people that actually created the brand and not the brand itself.
As it seems, nowadays customers tend to pick their own choosing about which store they're gonna visit, according to what they want to have. Like, let's say in Warehouse Edge, which is our near to the sea store, has a new age wine menu and more high-end food. And so if our customers want to feel that, they're going there. If they need to have a much more comfort, they're coming to our first store, which is Warehouse Specialty Projects. And if they want some more, let's say, elevated experience, they're going to our CO2 warehouse, which is the bubbly one. So, as I said before, customers tend to pick their own. And in food and wine, we can differentiate. Coffee is the same everywhere, so they can find the same coffee. And of course, the energy of our staff is the same, so they can find their warmth and hospitality to each one of our stores.
Perfect. So we got a question here, which is really interesting. It says, how do you pick your coffee origins for your menu? Is it by listening to consumers, asking because perhaps wine consumers could be picky? Like, how do you pick your coffee menu?
Okay. First of all, that's a really good question, by the way. First of all, we try to combine all elements in one store: coffee, wine, food, and spirits. So our selection comes to a variety of things. Like we're trying to give them the best quality in value that can afford. Okay, since we're not espresso points, we are an all-day store. We keep it, let's say, in terms of one product to be not to overshadow the next one, but to be in balance, if I may say. So we're picking our coffee origins, first of all, according to our client needs. And let's say that if I can ask to the question, we really like Latin America. We love Latin America. Also Ethiopia. And wine consumers can be picky, but when they can find the wine they really like, along with coffee that they can enjoy, everything's getting very, very easy.
How big is your wine list?
In which one of our stores?
Let's go to your main store.
We have our main store, which is warehouse special blends. We have wine list up to 400 different labels. 30% of those labels are from outside Greece, and 70% are Greek vineyard. And we have one of the most complete lists for champagne in CO2 throughout Europe. So we are very proud of it.
Perfect. So just to capture this conversation, you started from coffee.
Yep.
You ended up running an all-day store in
No.
utilizing an asset for almost 20 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to people that they're running coffee shops around Greece, around Europe, in how to utilize their assets better?
I cannot give an advice, but I can state that the team goes much further than the sole appearance of someone, no matter how talented he is or not. I'm very proud, and I'm very, very happy to announce it that my partners and we tend to have family bonds among us, because as you can understand, this structure cannot be utilized by me or by someone else from my partners team. So if I may suggest some things to everyone in the team, has a sole role, and someone needs to give the guidance. So it's a team effort, and team's role. That's on us. I mean, that's our point.
George, thank you so much.
Oh.
It's been really a pleasure to have you today. I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed that we were able finally to sit next to each other and have this conversation. Thank you for watching Retail Summit today. Have a great day.
Bye.